Joined by Craig Button. Craig, the Leafs have nothing left to play for. They're going to finish third, and they're going to open the playoffs in either Florida or Boston this Saturday night. Before then, though, back-to-back games tonight and tomorrow. If Austin Matthews weren't just a goal away from 70, it would have been easy to give him one of these two remaining games to sit out and rest for the playoffs. But since he's on 69, how would you like to see Sheldon Keefe handle their final two games, Craig?
Well, you're right, Gino. The Toronto Maple Leafs really don't have anything to play for. But Austin Matthews does. And despite Sheldon Keefe talking about it being a distraction, he also mentioned that they're excited and he's trying to find a way to get him to 70. I think personal accomplishments matter, and something this significant that hasn't occurred in over 30 years should matter. And it should matter not only to Sheldon Keefe and the Toronto Maple Leafs, but it matters to Austin Matthews. So hopefully get him that goal. He had every opportunity on Saturday versus Detroit. In fact, I was shocked that he didn't get it in that home game in front of the Maple Leafs faithful. But now you have an opportunity to do that. And you don't have to sit him out to rest him. You don't have to play him as many minutes. He played, I think, almost 24 minutes or just about that on Saturday. You don't have to play him that many minutes. And he'll find a way to get us scoring chances. And I've said it before, Gino, don't doubt Austin Matthews. 70 is coming for number 34.
Yeah, I get that sense as well. Now, in a way, the Leafs kind of have their own fate in their hands because if the Leafs beat the Panthers tonight, they get Florida in the opening round. If the Leafs lose, though, they could end up facing Boston in the opening round. The Bruins or the Panthers? Who would the Leafs have a better chance to get past in the opening round, Craig?
I would say the Boston Bruins. And certainly there's some injury concerns with the Florida Panthers, namely Aaron Ekblad and Carter Verhaeghe. You can't go into the playoffs missing such key players playing against a good opponent. But assuming that those two players are back in the lineup, I think that Florida poses a harder, more difficult road for the Toronto Maple Leafs to get to the second round. I don't feel that way about the Boston Bruins. And certainly the Boston Bruins have had a really strong season this year after a record-setting season last year. But when I look at where the Toronto Maple Leafs find themselves, and despite the most recent two losses to the Boston Bruins, I think the Boston Bruins are vulnerable, and I think the Toronto Maple Leafs can take advantage of that vulnerability and beat the Boston Bruins.
For the record, Toronto 2-1 against Florida this season, but as you mentioned, they're winless against Boston. So be careful what you wish for.